In today's video, we are going into the 5 starting classes in A3 Still Alive. We're going to go over their strengths, their weaknesses, and everything you can expect to see in this brand new MMO RPG mobile game that is launching November 10th globally. And this is the first MMO RPG to have Battle Royale. And this game is going to be absolutely insane. I'm so hyped. This game has it all. I'm so excited. I plan to go super hard in this game, do a ton of videos in this game. I haven't been this excited for a mobile game in a very, very long time. I've been so excited that I've been playing it on the Korean version. As you can see, everything is in Korean. I've been playing it on the Korean version. That's why it's, you know what I mean? So I have some in-depth stuff we're going to go over before the release. We're going to go over the Battle Royale mode. We're going to go over the characters. Pretty much just get you guys and girls prepared. So make sure you hit the subscribe button with the notification bell for more tips, tricks for this game, because we're going to cover the hell out of this. In this video, we're just going to go over the character selection, and then we'll talk more about the game in other videos. So here's one of the very first characters you can play as. We have the Berserker, all right? He's pretty cool. Pretty interesting. The way I would kind of explain him is he's not really a tank, but he's also not like a super damage dealer. So he's in between a tank and a damage dealer. I want to say I would call him like a bruiser. Like he has decent HP and defense, but he can also put out some damage. So we're going to send it over to our assistant Erica to help you see a little bit more in depth, or I should say to see the Berserker in action. Take it away, Erica.
The Berserker. The Berserker wields an axe, which he uses to demolish enemies. He is a physical, close-ranged attacker, whose brute strength comes at the cost of lower defense.
Now that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. The Berserker is pretty badass. All right, so now I just want to pull up some stats. I'm going to pull up some stats just to explain it. We have number 1. So if you see a number 1, it means it's the strongest stat for that character. 2 meaning they're very strong in that category. 3 meaning they're a little bit weaker. And then 4 being their weakest. So if we look over here, we have Berserker. For their HP, we have 2. So the Berserker is strong with the HP. Like I said, they're about above average. Okay, so I'm going to say the 2 and the 3. 2 would be meaning they're above average in that stat, and the 3 would mean they're below average in that stat. For defense, we have 2, which would be strong. EVD would be evasiveness, their ability to kind of like evade attacks. 4, so the Berserker is very, very weak. That's probably the Berserker's downfall, is that he just cannot, he's slow, right? He's just slow and he can't avoid attacks. For critical, we have 3, a little bit below average, not putting out a lot of critical attacks, but you know, that's okay. Accuracy would be 3, and then we have attack 2. So overall, the Berserker is not a bad class to start with. I want to just give you my, I don't want to say my opinion, but my experience playing in the Korean version. The Berserker is actually the lowest picked character, and a lot of people who have played in the Korean version have said that the Berserker is actually the worst class out of all the classes. So that's one thing to keep in mind, but again, that is one country's opinion, and you know what I mean, that's one people's play style, you know what I mean? So when this globally launches Tuesday, November 10th, I believe it's Tuesday, the Berserker might actually be a high pick category for US and other countries. I'm keeping an eye on the Berserker, even though, you know, for the Korean server, the Korean version of the game, people said that the Berserker was really bad. Basically, just looking at his stats, he doesn't look too bad. I mean, he's got some pretty good HP, defense, and attack, with just his evasiveness being really bad. So I would say the Berserker isn't too bad. But we'll, you know, again, we'll see what happens. All right, and the second character we have, or the second class we have, is the Templar. Gameplay going on right now. This is live. I'm in a little battle. And the Templar is actually the number 1 picked character on the Korean server, and the Templar is supposedly the best character in the game. Yeah, and this is just going by what everyone's saying, going by the class pick rate. We're going to throw it over to our assistant to explain a little bit more on the Templar.
The Templar. As a magic-using close-range character, his hammer is imbued with holy power to destroy enemies, and his thick shield blocks incoming attacks.
So as you can see, the Templar is super powerful. His HP and defense is his strongest stat. He just has so much survivability. It is damn near impossible to kill him, and that's what a lot of people have said that I've talked to. The Templar has the highest survivability. He's so hard to kill that you pair him up with a Soul Linker, which again, you may not know what a Soul Linker is. We'll talk more about that, but just think a Soul Linker is kind of like an ally pet that you get, and they can be attack focused, defense focused, or support. They say you take a Templar, you pair them up with a really good attack Soul Linker, and you're set. Another thing they mentioned is that if you're going to go the free-to-play way, meaning you don't plan on spending any money in the game, the Templar is the class for you. So let's just go over his stats. I'm going to throw up his little stat sheet right now. We'll just briefly go over it. We have 1 for HP being his strongest, 1 for defense being his strongest. His evasiveness and his crit are very, very low, though. Those are his weakest stats. And then his accuracy and attack is also 3, on the lower end of the average, so weak. So looking at it, you're kind of like, okay, well, the Berserker kind of is more balanced than the Templar. I mean, if you look just directly at the stats, but, you know, the Templar is very, very strong in HP defense, but then it's weak in everything else. So it's like a super, super duper strong tank. So again, you're going to have to make the decision on your own, but again, I'm just kind of trying to help you. You know, I want to give you the information to help you make the best choice for the class you want to start out in. Again, you can choose all the different classes. You know, you can start a game with the Berserker, try him out. Maybe you don't like him, try the Templar. You know what I mean? You're not locked into one class. All right, the next class we are looking at is the Wizard. Again, I'm going to throw up the Wizard stats real quick right here, and we will take a look. So for the Wizard, we have 4 for HP, being its weakest. Defense also its weakest. Evasiveness a 3 on the lower side. Crit, though, and attack is its strongest. So if you want to be a backliner, you sit in the back line and you do a ton of damage, the glass cannon they call it, then the Wizard is for you. Accuracy again is a little bit weak, but again, the Wizard is just super duper strong with the attack. I mean, the Wizard puts out the most attack. We'll throw it over to our assistant again, show you the Wizard in action.
The Wizard. Her powerful spells have long cast times, but charging her skills just makes them stronger. She is a powerful, long-range magical attacker.
All right, my friends, and that is the Wizard. Next up, we are going to be looking at the Assassin. So I'm going to throw the Assassin stats up real quick. We have 3 for HP, being on the lower side of average. 4 for defense, very weak. Evasiveness is 1 though, so the Assassin is super duper strong at speed, just avoiding attacks. He just runs all over the place. So if that's your style, if you like to be like super speedy, dodging attacks, running all over the place, then the Assassin's for you. Crit is also very, very strong. Accuracy is a little bit weaker, and attack is also a little bit weaker. Throw it over to our assistant to see some more in-depth gameplay.
The Assassin moves swiftly. He quickly closes in on enemies to deal massive damage, then dodges their attacks with speedy evasion skills.
Next up, we have the Archer. The Archer is another backliner who does massive amounts of damage. So we'll just take a look at this real quick. We got 4 for HP again, super weak in the health points, and defense is not its strongest. Evasiveness is 3, crit is 3. Its strong suits for the Archer would be accuracy and attack. And I haven't heard too much about the archer, so what I've found out is people like the wizard. They pick the wizard for damage over the archer, but again, I'm just giving you information that I found out. You can pick whatever you want.
The archer. She ties up enemies with various traps and defeats them from afar with rapid fire skills and agile movements.
I mean, after viewing that, I'm kind of on the fence. I might pick the archer. The archer does look pretty good. The archer looks pretty good. All right, and the last class we need to talk about, this will not be, I believe the scholar is not on launch. So when the game launches, I believe this 6th slot right here, you see the little book, the scholar is not available right away, I believe. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe the first 5 that we went over are the first 5 available classes. The scholar comes later on, but I'm going to talk about the scholar anyway. I would say the scholar is probably the most balanced character. We'll throw up our little stat sheet right now, and we have 2 for HP, strong, 3 for defense, 2 for evasiveness, 3 for crit, 4 for accuracy, 2 for attack. So as you look at these stats, you see a lot of 2s and 3s, right? So we have HP strong, evasiveness strong, attack strong, and then on the little bit below average, defense, crit, and accuracy being its weakest. I mean, a lot of 2s and 3s. This is probably the most balanced character out of all 6 classes. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I didn't want to make it too long, but I also wanted to give you some good information and go over everything. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll be back soon with more A3 Still Alive content.